getting into raw cooking with Zane. What we're going to do today is make a delicious, quick apple and beetroot smoothie. Now this one's a really good one. Again, I'm making this smoothie because I've had lots of people ask me lately how easily the Optimum blenders can actually blend these hard kinds of ingredients. So I am going to chop it up into wedges. Both the apples and the beetroot seem to float a little bit, and so it's easier if they're actually chopped up for the blender to blend them. Not because the blades can't blend them, but because they sit in the water above the line of the blade. So just chop them up into little wedges. The cucumber can go in as it is, and you can put a half a lemon in with or without skin. Now I think it's a bit bitter with skin on, but some people like it. So I'm going to pop that lid off and put it aside. We've got the lemon, we've got the cucumber, those softer ingredients going in first, the softer handful of parsley going in first, and our harder ingredients up on top in there. Now beetroot's a great ingredient to consume. It's absolutely fantastic with its health properties. It's actually got loads of iron in it, but it's also got loads of vitamin C. It is a bit of a sweeter, it's got some fructose in there as well, but what happens is that the vitamin C helps the iron to be absorbed, so I love that about the beetroot. I'm going to put about 1 cup of coconut water in. You can also put apple juice in, so if you want to use your Optimum 400 juicer and make some apple juice, put a cup of apple juice in. If you feel, or you're feeling a bit brave, you could also pop a garlic in there if you use apple juice and use it to help fight colds and flus, etc. So we've got all of the ingredients in there. I am going to take the lid plug out all together at the top, and I'm going to grab a tamper from down here in my collection and pop it in just to make sure that I can easily get it going. Once it's going, I'll take the tamper out and pop the lid plug right in. So turn it on this side, on low, turn it up to high, blend until it's ready, and off we go. Remembering that the Optimum 9400, 9200 as well can heat the food. You don't want to over blend, but you do want to ensure that you blend enough that you get a nice creamy and smooth consistency. So I've done that there. If you want to make sure that there's no heating going on in the smoothie, you can also add some ice cubes, or you can put some ice cubes in the cup and pour your smoothie over the top. But this one is delish. Absolutely healthy, absolutely great for you, and so easy to make. So really easy to make those hard ingredients into a completely smooth liquid, but make sure that you do add enough liquid to mix when you're blending. Make sure that you use the tamper to get it started. Don't overblend, add ice to make sure it doesn't heat up. There's all the tips for blending hard foods in the Optimum blenders. So that's it for me today. If you do love the Optimum blender, go down the bottom and subscribe to the Fruity TV channel. And if you don't have one yet, get onto the local Fruity website to you. Ciao for now. Hi and welcome to Getting Into Raw Cooking with Zane. This is a delicious and simple recipe. It only has one ingredient, a pineapple. We're using the Optimum 400 juicer to juice the entire pineapple, skin included. We're going to look at juicer food preparation, and we're going to look at different ways that you can clean your juicer, or discuss them while I make this. The first thing I'm going to point out is if you are going to juice a pineapple, be very aware that some of them have had a little sticker on it with the price or the barcode or the name of the type of pineapple that it is, and it's really sticky. Take it off before you juice. It'll get stuck all over your auger and you'll have a really rough time of cleaning it up later. The next thing that you need to do is remove both the top and the bottom from your pineapple. Those two are a little bit hard to juice and you will need to set them aside, pop them in your compost, something like that. Next, I encourage you to remove the skin quite closely as though you're going to eat the pineapple. And this is really good with really rough, hard skin fruits and vegetables of any description. Remove that excess skin and pop it aside. You can juice it, but always juice it last. As the last thing you pop through. So I've got that, and sometimes I chop them in just to a smaller strip. So you've actually got little strips like that that'll fit easily down the feed tube in the middle, finger kind of width as you go, just preparing that for juicing now so I don't have to come back to it later. Pineapple's absolutely great for you. When that pineapple goes from its green colour to a really bright orange colour, it has more bromelain. Bromelain is always present in pineapple. Bromelain is actually an ingredient that helps with digestion, so it's very, very good for you. Now I've just chopped that into thin little fingers again, and any of the really fat ones where the core is, you can see the kind of finger-like lengths there, and we'll just chop them in half to make sure everything goes through nice and smoothly. So this is an easy recipe. One ingredient, great for your digestion, great to make, but this is the trick. Chop it up, make sure the skin's off, and then put the skin through last. Watch this and you'll see how easy it really is. Tamper out. Optimum 400 juicer on. If you don't have your own Optimum 400 juicer, remember, go down to the description below this video and make sure that you check out the Fruity website closest to you. You can order yours today and you'll get it in the mail just a little while. Now, I absolutely love this particular juice. I am using the fine mesh strainer inside the juicer, and as I feed everything through, you'll see the pulp starts to come out one side. The juice is going to feed itself, and look at this beautiful fresh pineapple juice, that pretty yellow colour coming out the other side. I'm absolutely happy to be sharing this with you. And remember, the pulp is good too, so don't throw it out. You can eat it with a spoon, mix it up with some fresh coconut flesh for a little bit of a pina colada kind of idea, or pop that pulp in your dehydrator and dehydrate it. Use it in your recipes instead of dried fruit. It's absolutely simple and easy. There we are, pulp coming out one side, juice coming out the other, and look how juicy that is. Barely any pulp and loads of juice. I'm just going to easily pop through now the skin. Big tip with the skin, don't overfeed. Give the juicer a second to squeeze and push everything through. Remember, it's got no cutting tool in there. It's just compressing and squeezing out the juice. Look at that. And you'll actually see that the juice starts to come out a little more foamy. If you don't want it foamy, you can always affix the juice tap at the beginning or during the process. So I don't often use it for this kind of juice, but definitely on a green juice. I really find it helps to reduce that foaminess at the top there. There we go. Just popping that through. The other cool thing you'll notice when you start juicing the skin is the juice goes from that bright yellow colour to a bright green kind of colour. Here we go. Last little bit going through right now. So there we have it. The juice of an entire pineapple juiced through your Optimum 400 juicer with no blockages, no difficulty, and I bet you any money it tastes great. I'm going to pour it into a glass and check it out, and I'll see you next time. Ciao for now. Hi and welcome to Getting Into Raw Cooking with Zane. I have been playing with my Optimum 400 juicer and coming up with some great recipes for you, but I thought I'd take a twist on one of the common juices to get us started. So that one of the common juices that you'll hear about, it's called a CAG, a C-A-G juice. And what that means is carrot, apple and ginger. But we can change that around and make so many variations by just adding or removing a few of the ingredients. So we'll start by getting the Optimum juicer ready to work, and that is to chop all the vegetables into pieces that will fit into the feed tube. So first we have the carrot. There's no need to remove skin or seeds with the Optimum 400 juicer. Then we have an apple and we add some lime. Next, we have a beetroot, a small knob of ginger, and that's enough to get us started. So we turn the Optimum 400 juicer on, remove the tamper from the top, and gently feed the carrots straight into the tube. So there you add it. We added a little bit of carrot, we added some ginger, some beetroot. You'll see that it easily went through those green leafy coriander leaves, which will give a nice bit of zing. This is a great healthy juice. Apples are really great. It's got pectin and good for digestive. We've got the carrot in there, which is great for those eyes. We all know that. Beetroot's a wonderful vegetable. Wonderful because it both has vitamin C and iron, which helps the absorption of the iron into your system. And the coriander helps with heavy metal detoxification. So a really healthy, quick and easy juice that you can whip up in your Optimum 400 blender. You'll notice that I put all the carrots through first. So what I can do if I choose is just remove these last little bits of green pulp off the top and keep the carrot pulp aside for other recipes. We'll do some videos here on the YouTube Foodie TV channel showing you how to use your carrot pulp in other ways. Otherwise, ciao for now. If you'd like to get your own Optimum blender, remember that the Optimum juicer, remember that the details are below in the description, any of the local Foodie websites to you. And remember to like the Foodie TV channel to ensure that you get great recipes like this all the time. Ciao for now. And welcome to Getting Into Raw Cooking with Zane. We're using the Optimum 400 juicer to make a juice today full of kale, carrots, celery, all those stringy and fibrous vegetables that some of you have had trouble with in the past when juicing. There's a couple of techniques to get great pulp-free juice without blocking the juicer, and this is the same for all slow juicers in this upright position. A masticating or slow juicer squeezes or crushes, it can't possibly cut. So you do actually need to remove the leaves from the stalks when you're using things like kale or silver beet and spinach. Leave the stalks and leaves separate. You also need to chop both the stalks and the leaves into pieces, a couple of centimeters long. 3 to 5 centimeters is just fine. I make mine about this big, finger's length or half a finger's length, and pop them aside on the board. You also need to chop your celery the same way. I've done this already, chopping it down. So not only is it a little bit thinner, but it's just short lengths because, as I said, there's no cutting function inside any of the masticating juices. The next thing that you need, so I've got some kale there. We've got some celery here. We've got quite a bit of ginger because that's tasty. You can leave the skin on your lemons and limes, and I normally chop them into thick slices so that they go through nice and easily. We've got our apple. You can leave the core in, but you do need to chop again into little wedges so that you can pop that straight through the juicer. And then our carrots. And carrots are a great, delicious, hard vegetable, but again, you need to chop these ones up so that they go in nice and smoothly. So I usually chop in half, and in half, and then in half. So we've got those pieces there. The great thing that I love about juicing carrots is that you can usually buy a big bag like these ones of juicing carrots. They might have a few blemishes on the outside, but they juice up beautifully. And carrots, as we know, are great. They've got vitamin A, good for your eyes. Think Bugs Bunny, but they're also a really nice sweeter flavour for a juice. So I find if you're getting into green juices, using carrot in your green juice with a little bit of apple is actually a great way to make an alkaline green juice that tastes a bit sweeter. And just talking about acid and alkaline kinds of foods when it comes to eating, we want to have a diet that's about 80-20 acid alkaline. So, sorry, 20-80 acid alkaline. We want more alkaline foods. And all of the things that you see on this table today, except for the apple, are alkaline kinds of food. So this is a really great healthy juice. The nutrients from this juice will hit your bloodstream in about 15 minutes and you will feel fantastic. I've just recently finished a 5-day juice fast. I did nothing but juice like this in the Optimum 400 juicer for 5 days, and the juicer held up beautifully and I felt fantastic. So I'd really recommend, this is a great juicer for juice fast, for daily juice, for a quick juice, but this one's one of my favourite. Watch this. First of all, I'm going to put some of the leafy greens in. Then I'm going to alternate that with a little bit of the hard vegetables, which will help me to push that down. I let the hard vegetables kind of just fall in on their own, like that, and you'll see pulp comes out one side, but juice not actually coming out the other side because I've got the juicing tap in place and it's on closed. And the reason why I do that is to combine those flavours in the juicer in one go. Now, if you'd like to reduce the amount of pulp that comes into your juice, then putting the fibrous or leafy vegetables last is a technique. If you don't mind a tiny bit of pulp appearing in your juice, then I recommend actually alternating your leafy vegetables, your stringy vegetables with some of your harder vegetables or fruits. And that alternation will mean that everything gets pushed out the waste chute, and we'll find this is actually quite dry when it comes out. I'm squeezing it there and there's no more liquid to come out, and you get a great mixed juice in that way. So pop them all through gently. Ginger, of course, gets squeezed, so in comparison to a centrifugal juicer, you are going to get a beautiful, sweet, gingery flavour in this particular juice. Now remember, it is a slow juicer, so slow masticating juices need a minute to juice. And once you've filled the bowl or nearly filled the bowl, you can open the spout, and there we can see a beautifully mixed juice coming all the way out. And having that closed prevents too much foam from those leafy vegetables building up. You can see if you need to, you can always push with your tamper just to get things going. There we go, and I can smell the ginger already. So you can still see the pulp all coming out easily from the pulp chute. I've got a nice mixed juice here, and you can see that there's some juice in the bowl. The bowl holds about 300 mils at a time, and you just let it out and you'll notice that there's barely any foam on the top. The juice is nearly complete and it's absolutely fresh and nutritious for you. You'll see that there's barely any pulp in this particular juice, and it's just because of technique. Chop the pieces small enough to go in, feed them gently. I usually find the action of taking my hand from the board to the chute is enough time for everything to have fed through. And use your ear. You can actually hear as it squeezes a carrot, it makes a different sound to when it squeezes an apple. Every now and then, if you need to, gently press into the feed tube, but it's not a centrifugal juicer. It's not like we used to use where you have to force everything in. The juice is just going to draw the lot in on its own and create a delicious, easy juice. And to disassemble your juicer, all you need to do is turn it off and take the pieces out, and you can rinse them easily underneath the tap in your sink until they're nice and clean. And you'll see that we've really squeezed out the juice in all of those things. So that's delicious, easy, simple juice. I'm going to pour it into a glass. I think I deserve some after filming today, and I usually do, just to make sure that there's no excess pulp, pop my finger or the back of a spoon in the spout here and just ensure any excess pulp stays in the jug and not in my cup. There we go. Look at that. Delicious, fresh green juice. Cheers to your health. Hi and welcome to Getting Into Raw Cooking with Zane. Today we're going to use the Optimum 400 juicer to make a juice that's a little bit different. Now most of us don't think of eating sweet potato raw, but you totally can. So this is a sweet potato and vegetable juice with just a little bit of apple for sweetness. I've chopped everything into bite-sized pieces so I can feed them straight down the feed juice of the Optimum 400 juicer. This is a great slow juicer. It's really slow, which means that none of the enzymes are damaged. It's actually the slowest slow juicer on the market. And all you need to do is feed the food through. Pulp comes out one side, juice comes out the other, and you can juice just about anything. Your greens, your sweet fruits, your savory ingredients, whatever you like. Well, you just feed them in just a little bit at a time. If you need to, you can use the tamper to push down to encourage everything to flow through quite easily. Apples are a great fruit to use. They're not too sugary, so they give you a little bit of sweetness, but they're good for the body. And actually, as a side note, did you know that apples are great for seasickness? If you ever have seasickness, eat a green apple. Pop some lime in there. Really important, if you're leaving the rind on the lime, that you do chop them into small pieces so that they can feed through the juicer gently. There we go. Well, I'll quickly feed this in. So there we go, a little bit of sweet potato, some red capsicum, apple, lime, a nice bit of sweet potato. Now you can increase the sweet potato and replace some of the carrots for a really great different style, different tasting juice. Remembering there's heaps of health benefits in there. The vitamin C content in the red capsicum is amazing. Carrots, if you chop them at a cross section, you can see again, they look like the eye socket, which means that they're actually really good for the eyes, and we all knew that already, didn't we? We all know Bugs Bunny. And then the lime gives a little bit of zing. You might like to add a little bit of ginger too if you want something a bit different. We have all the pulp here on one side, and I'd really recommend that you don't throw that out. You can keep it, mix it with other things, make it into little veggie patties. If you cook, you can cook them on the stove. If you don't cook, you can pop them in your dehydrator until they go quite firm. They're absolutely delicious. You can even make pizza bases with that one. So that is a delicious juice, easy to make in your Optimum 400 slow juicer. If you want to get your own Optimum 400 slow juicer, just have a look down below in the links in the description. You'll find the Fruity channel, the Fruity website closest to you. Ciao for now. Hi and welcome to Getting Into Raw Cooking with Zane. Today we're going to be using the Optimum 400 juicer to make you some delicious things. In this episode, we're going to try a mono juice. So often we see juices that have hundreds of ingredients, and I thought we'd go with something simple. These are grapes, just in case you didn't know. They look a little bit like an eye, and the cool thing about that is that they're good for your eyes. That's Doctrine of Signatures, you can look it up. What I'm going to do is feed the grapes through the top feed chute of the Optimum 400 juicer, and what you'll notice will happen, pulp will come out this side and grape juice will come out the other side. And we just keep feeding until we get as much juice as we would like. So this is an easy and fun one. This is good for you and for the kids. You can do it with the cold grapes like I'm doing, but another great tip is to freeze the grapes, and then you can eat what comes out the pulp section a little bit like a sorbet. So I've popped in enough to make at least 1 glass of juice. I'm going to serve that up in a pretty glass. Do you know everything tastes better when it's in a pretty glass? While I was doing this research for this one, grapes are fantastic. They're really great for constipation, really good for fatigue, they're low GI, but another cool thing that I just learned out is they're fantastic for acne. So if you take a little bit of your grape juice, dip a little swab in there and pop it on your acne, leave it overnight, and it'll help to clear it up. It's got great vitamin C and antioxidants. The other cool fact that I learned about grapes is that it contains melatonin, which helps to balance the circadian rhythm or your sleep pattern, and melatonin acts as an antioxidant when you use it in a grape juice like this. Yum. Well, that was an easy one. What are some mono juices that you like? Write down in the comments below, we'd love to hear. And if you like this video or would like to see other ways of using the Optimum 400 juicer, don't forget to like the Fruity TV YouTube channel or make a note for what you'd like to see us do in a future video. Ciao for now.